Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
While all eyes are on the experience of Curry, Draymond, and Butler, an unsettling question hovers in the San Francisco air. What if the player capable of turning the series around isn't even stepping on the court? The Warriors won Game 7 against the Rockets, but it wasn't just a victory. It was a wake-up call. Because despite advancing, Kuminga's absence in crucial moments raises a painful doubt. What's really going on behind the scenes at Golden State? Jonathan Kuminga, a 22-year-old talent with explosion, strength, and the potential to dominate any game, was left out for 3 straight matches. Even with the series on fire. Even with the offense stalling. Even with a roster desperately needing fresh energy. Steve Kerr, under pressure and increasingly questioned, tried to justify everything is on the table. But the truth is the table may be turning, and Kuminga might be getting used as a silent token of technical or strategic sacrifice. With Jimmy Butler's return, the young forward vanished from the radar. But what if it's precisely youth, the hungry minutes of Kuminga, that are missing to reignite this team in the playoffs? The stats don't lie. In his 2 games in this series, Kuminga brought energy, defense, and even shot 40% from 3. Nothing extraordinary, but enough to shift the rhythm of a tight game. Meanwhile, Kerr is betting on Kevin Looney, the trusted veteran, in small ball lineups. But the matchup against Steven Adams and Alperen Sengun made it clear, without physical presence in the paint, the Warriors bleed. The hack Adams failed. Adams took on the challenge and punished Golden State at the free throw line. And when a working tactic backfires, it's time to revisit the plan. Jimmy Butler guaranteed, "We'll win together on Sunday." And they did. But what if the next series doesn't allow for another miracle? What if the bench remains silent while the opponent gains strength? The time to change is now. And maybe changing means looking inward, toward what's being ignored, and giving voice to the silence that Jonathan Kuminga represents. And you, Warriors fan, do you think Kuminga should return to the core rotation? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep up with the behind-the-scenes, decisions, and emotions shaping Golden State's future, subscribe now to our channel, Warriors News Fan Update, and turn on notifications. Because here, every game is a new chapter in a story still being written. But now that the battle against Houston is behind us, an even bigger war is approaching. The Warriors will have no rest. The next opponent will come thirsty, studying every mistake, every faulty rotation, every absence like Kuminga's, and they will exploit it relentlessly. That's when the most important question of the season arises. Is Steve Kerr willing to break his own convictions to save the legacy of this era? Because betting on Kuminga isn't just a tactical decision. It's a statement. A message to the locker room, the fans, and even the front office. We're ready to win with those who are hungry. And no one on the roster seems hungrier than Jonathan. While Draymond battles giants in the paint and Jimmy stretches between defense and creation, the team needs someone who brings immediate impact. Not just in stats, but in energy, in attitude, in presence. And Kuminga is that someone. If Game 7 was Kuminga's last chance in a Warriors jersey, what a waste to spend it on the bench. But if Kerr has the courage and vision, it might have only been the prelude to a rebirth. The moment demands boldness. The season hangs by a thread. And every great team, before making history, makes tough choices. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't need promises. He needs minutes. And if those minutes come, don't be surprised if he becomes the hero no one expected, but the real fans always believed he could be. Did you like this content? Then don't miss the next chapter in the Warriors' playoff journey. Here at Warriors News Fan Update, you get it all with emotion, fan opinion, and insider info. Subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single comeback, trade, or clutch moment. And if there's a time to rescue not just a player, but the very identity of a franchise, it's now. The Golden State Warriors have always been more than stats or rising stars. This team built its dynasty on courage, versatility, and mutual trust. It was like that with Draymond when few believed in him. With Looney, with Wiggins, even with Jordan Poole in the past. Why not with Kuminga? Game 7 proved that experience still matters, but also made clear that time waits for no one. The generation that brought titles is closer to the end than the peak. And the next step needs to be taken with conviction. With vision. Giving minutes to Kuminga isn't just about fairness. It's about preparation. Because if not now, when? The trade rumors that surrounded Kuminga's name throughout the season won't just vanish. And if he remains on the bench in the next round, the message will be clear. Maybe his future isn't in San Francisco anymore. But if Kerr decides to bet on him, even if belatedly, the impact could be transformative, not just for the player, but for the team's entire tactical system. Playoff basketball is ruthless. One mistake, one wrong decision, and everything slips away. Kerr knows it. Curry, more than anyone, knows it. Perhaps, in the hands of a 22-year-old lies the balance between one more historic run or the silent end of a golden era. The choice comes in the next game. And with it, the chance to see Kuminga rise, not just from the bench, but as a symbol of the reinvention of a team still refusing to say goodbye. And you, Warriors fan, what would you do if you were in Steve Kerr's shoes? Would you give Kuminga minutes or stick with the more experienced lineups? Leave your opinion in the comments. And don't forget, here on Warriors News Fan Update, every game, every detail, every decision comes alive with emotion and analysis from true fans. Subscribe now to the channel, turn on the bell, and stick with us until the last second of the season. As a Warriors fan, I must confess, seeing Jonathan Kuminga on the bench while we face such tough battles frustrates me. We're talking about a guy with athletic explosion, energy, intensity, and an absurd will to prove his worth. In a tight series like this one against the Rockets, that's exactly the kind of player we needed on the court. I understand Steve Kerr's trust in the veterans. I understand the value of Looney, of Draymond, of keeping a tactical system based on those who have won together. But the reality is, time is passing. And if we don't start preparing the next generation now, when will we? Kuminga has flaws, yes. He still makes mistakes, still takes rushed decisions at times. But you know what else he has? Hunger, drive, physical strength that our small ball lacks. And in a Game 7 on the road against a physical team like the Rockets, that could have made the difference. If he leaves without even getting the chance to show who he really can be in a playoff setting, we'll regret it. Because he has the potential to become a star, and maybe we're letting it slip away. In my view, Kuminga needed to be in that rotation yesterday. And more, he needs to be a central piece in what comes next. Because when Curry is gone, when Draymond is gone, we'll look back and think, what did we build beyond them? And the answer can and should start with Kuminga. And maybe that's the hardest part of being a fan of a team that's seen glory up close, knowing when it's time to turn the page without destroying the book. Jonathan Kuminga is, yes, a promise. But promises need space to become reality. And if Kerr doesn't give that space now, at the moment we most need fresh blood, energy, and boldness, when will he? Watching a talent like Kuminga stuck on the bench is like holding dynamite in your hands and choosing not to light the fuse for fear of leaving your comfort zone. The truth is, no great team reinvented itself without taking risks. And if the Warriors want more than just an honorable farewell to their winning generation, they need to start building the next one now. With courage, with vision, and with players like Kuminga at the center of that rebuild. Because while many only see an anxious and inconsistent kid, I see the beginning of a new cycle, a name that can represent this franchise's future. But for that to happen, someone inside the organization needs to believe before everyone else. Steph's window is closing. And maybe deep down, the best way to honor his legacy is to prepare the stage so that the next names, like Kuminga, can follow that path with the same greatness. If you feel what I feel, if you believe there's still a new chapter to be written in this legendary jersey, then come with us. Here at Warriors News Fan Update, we don't just bring you the news, we live every emotion as true fans. So subscribe now, hit the bell, and stick with us on this journey of faith, sweat, and basketball. Because as long as there's a game, there will be hope. And that's why this isn't just another game. This isn't just another series. This is the moment that defines what kind of team the Golden State Warriors want to be moving forward. A team that lives off memories, or a team still brave enough to create new ones. Kerr is facing the toughest decision of the season. It's not just about a rotation. It's about a symbol. A signal to the team, to the fans, and to the entire NBA that the Warriors still know how to dare, still know how to bet, still believe in the power of transformation. Because in the end, it's not just about Kuminga. It's about everything he represents. youth, intensity, future. If Game 7 was a gasp of life, let the next one be a scream of rebirth. And when the clock hits zero and the sweat drips from every player's forehead, I hope to see on the court not just the heroes of the past, but the names that will write what comes next. Jonathan Kuminga can be that name. And if you believe that too, if you're one of those who cheer until the last second, who support through wins and losses, then you're already part of this story. Subscribe now to Warriors News Fan Update and come live every move, every decision, and every emotion with us. Because here, the love for the Warriors never leaves the rotation.